Hey Bison, will your grizzly take 100 off a piece of aluminum? Well, I'm giving away some top secret stuff here. I'm going to make today on the lathe a ream. I need a ream to fix the bushing, and I'll show you that later, in my cone pulley for the Logan Ward's lathe. And what happened is I pushed this bushing into a gear, and I had the gear clamped a little too tightly, so it was no longer round. I bored that, got a nice bore job, pushed the bushing in, and then because I had had it clamped too tightly in the chuck, when I released it from the chuck, the part relaxed. And so now I've got 4 tight spots where it's squeezing in on the shaft too tightly, where the bushing is rubbing too tightly. We've got the bore cleaned up, and I'm just going to run the tool through it one more time without moving it. And it's not going to touch. Of course. Take a kind of cleanup pass. Black pipe doesn't cut very well. I can't hear anything. I'm getting a little bit of a cut in there. Here's a little tic-tac as it goes around and hits the place where the pipe was welded. I got this steady rest with the purchase of the garage sale Atlas QC42, which I haven't unloaded for my truck yet, but I did go get the steady rest because I needed it. Yeah, it looks a little better. Still not a real nice surface. All right, so now I'm going to make an aluminum plug to go in here that I can center drill and use a live center on. This needs to be about 1 inch 9, inch 10. We're at 1 inch 395. I'm sorry, 1 inch 355. We got a long way to go. Take a big cut here. That was 55, 65, 68 thou cut. So we got 1 inch 287. Let's do something really crazy. Let's take 100 thou. Show you what a good Atlas lathe can or can't do. Look at that baby go. That's the old gray lady in action there, taking 100 thou off that diameter. We don't mess around, we don't mess around. And not a bad looking cut. We're at 1 inch 187, exactly 100 thou. Okay. We're going to leave a step here on this plug. 1 inch 187, we can take another 100. Hey Bison, will your grizzly take 100 off a piece of aluminum? So we should be at 1 inch 087. 1 inch 086 and a half. Let me get that up right. 1 inch 086 and a half. Yeah, baby. So we want to leave it about 110. That'll take off 40. That'll take off 60. It's 128. It's about what we expected. Let's take off 10. Just down to 118. We will sneak up on our press fit. We're at 123. I expected it to be a little smaller than that. 121. I'm still zeroed well. Let me check it one more time. $121. I think I'm taking off about 5 or 6 here. Yeah, about 116. We'll take off about 4. Then I'm going to come up here and work on this shoulder. It's pretty hot. I want to let it cool down before I make the final cut. That was a big cut, huh? I'm about 112 and a half. This is about 1 inch 084. One inch 097, 1 inch 14. Put a wet cloth on it, help cool it down a little faster. Yeah, 114 and a half, I'm not really measuring any difference. Well, 11 and a half. I'm just going to take a dry cut. Try and do this without setting up the dial indicator. Why am I getting 122 of this all of a sudden? One inch 12, 1 inch 11 and a half. Tried to move the tool just half a thou. weird spot there going around. Check my pipe. It's up to 1 inch 9.5. I think I'm going to take a dry cut. Not getting anything. I think that's going to be good. Baby.
Hey.
Did you have fun?
Yeah. Got you some popcorn. Don't eat all of the popcorn.
You got caramel corn?
Have a bowl of it, but don't.
Too much caramel corn talk yesterday.
Yep.
Thank you. I didn't mean to leave it running. Give myself a little more room for the cutoff tool. Didn't like leaving that tool mark on my part. We've got plenty of material there to save away. Still got some kind of tool mark there, but it don't matter. I know it's crazy. I want to see what the power feed looks like. Woo, power feed on a cutoff. Of course, as it gets in farther and farther and farther, the feed rate is actually increasing because the diameter is getting smaller. Seems to like that good fast feed rate. It was getting to be a little too much of a cut though. Oh, what's going on? I have this problem when I've got a lot of load on the spindle where this pin comes out. I'm going to have to rebuild that. Now, I'm not going to try to catch that thing. I'm sure it's very hot. down to about an eighth, about 100, about a 16th, and it should break off. Another part off of that piece of aluminum back in the scrap pile. So here's our part. I'm going to press it in the tube, and then we'll finish machining this with it in the steady rest. Alright, I must admit I made a decimal point mistake. It's not supposed to be 1'90", or an inch. The bore of the tube wasn't 1 inch and 9 thousandths. It was 1 inch and 94 thousandths. So I missed a whole decimal point. So I get to build this again. I'm not going to make you watch it though. Quickly facing it off in the lathe. Yep, that feels like something that's going to press in. Got a couple thou press on it. Here's our cone pulley we're making the ream for. Maybe you can see the black ink and the rub marks in there where I determined that's what was going on. I clamped the part too tightly. And this piece of black pipe is soon to be our ream. You say you've never seen a ream made from a black pipe? Wow. I learned this from my dad. He used to do line boring and make his own custom tools. Just like I'm making this one. Yeah, that's got a little bit of press on it. It's a lot tighter than those bearings we did. There we go. That baby ain't coming out of there without a press. So now we have our faux solid piece of steel. Oh, that gives it away, doesn't it? We can center drill it now. Well, the clamp for this thing is one clumsy part to put in place. Hold the clamp up with one hand and guide the bolt with the other. My fingers were in the gap here. I'm getting better at that, but boy, it sure is awkward. Now we're going to move that into position. Tighten the clamp. Now we'll adjust the fingers. Make sure all these clamps are loose. Now we'll adjust the fingers. Okay, those may be a bit snug. These fasteners here, I think they're a 32nd size. 9/16 doesn't go on them. 5/8 is loose. Gotta put some oil on that baby. These are probably a little tight. Oh, let's listen to it. Oh yeah, it's a little tight. See how quickly the chuck stopped. Still a little tight, I think. Do our center drilling. Woo! Pipe heats up and it gets tighter. I'm going to have to learn how to adjust those properly. All that setup just so I could do that center drill hole there and not have this thing wobbling all over the place. But that's what you need. You need a steady rest. Well, I want to tell you guys, I've had to buy and sell lathes. I've only sold one, but I'm getting ready to sell another one. I've had to wheel and deal on lathes. I think I've bought about 11 or 12 lathes altogether in order to find all my tooling. And this was my latest thing I was hunting for that I acquired. It takes a lot of work to build up a nice shop on the inexpensive. There's cheap and there's free, but there's no such thing as cheap and free. We're getting ready to start making our ream. Ram lock up. This is the first time I've turned with a center on one end and a chuck on the other. I think that's generally a bad idea, but I don't have a dog this big, so I don't really have a way to get this turning between centers, and I would have had to make another plug for it. Now, I'm going to machine this down to my inch 250 or maybe slightly under that. An inch, probably 249. And that's going to be my first step in making this ream. Now, when I do this, I'm going to, when I do this machining, ooh, wow. Look at that. I'm going to have to back up my tailstock. This is real world projects, folks. Actually making useful objects. There we go. We'll get a touch off and then we'll measure it. Be curious to see how close to center we're running. Look at that. It's a pretty long look. I've got several touch offs there. These tubes are not really round. I'm just going to take 5 off on this first pass. Just see what it takes to clean it up. I thought about using, that's not going to clean it up. A little more. Thought about using galvanized pipe, but it was really close to my inch 250, and I wanted some more material to work with. So that's why we're using the black pipe. I'm not sure what the superior choice was. Maybe one day we'll do a video where we turn both kinds of pipe and see what the best thing is to work with. I think I'm getting a beautiful looking cut there. Is it possible I can make a ream out of this pipe?